Martinez is a street kid, trying to survive in his technology and body modification obsessed city. While driving home to school with his mother after getting in trouble, the two of them become bystanders in an animal's assault on an Arasaka corporate vehicle, where they crashed into the vehicle after it was blown up by a rocket. David sees his mother lying motionless on the road after regaining consciousness. Trauma team arrives on the scene, but ignore them for not being insured. After managing to get his mother to a back alley clinic, David returns back to his apartment with his mother's belongings and discovers that she had procured a military-grade Sandevistan Cyberware implant from the cyber psycho. David informs Doc about the implant and was told that it was worth around $10,000 on the black market. The next morning on his way to Corporal Plaza, David encounters Katsuo and his friends. They took him to a back alley where Katsuo beats him using a martial arts chip. Shortly after the fight, David receives a call from the clinic that his mother had passed away and he had to arrange a funeral for her. David, not being able to afford the other options, chose to cremate her remains. Once home, while struggling with the loss of his mother, David receives a call from Katsuo mocking him and his mother's death, which pushed him over the edge. David leaves his apartment to visit Doc and convince himself that Sandevistan implanted into his body. After being chipped in, David returns the following day to the academy in search of Katsuo. Utilizing his implant, David easily floors Katsuo with a single blow and breaks his nose. Once home, David stares at the urn holding his mother's ashes. He receives a call from the academy's principal. The principal tells David that his expulsion had been formally processed, but before the principal could end his sentence, David hangs up. The next morning, while on the N-Cart train, he notices a mysterious girl stealing shards from corporate employees. The woman attempts to also take David's shards, but was quickly intercepted by David utilizing his implant. He grasped her arm, which she shrugged off, and instead took him with her to the end of the cart. She interrogated David on why he was messing with her job. After a short discussion, the two came to agreement to work together, Lucy taking on David as her trainee and splitting their earnings 70-30. After finishing the job, David's nose starts to bleed and he passes out. After being wheeled into an ambulance, new troubles arise after a confrontation with an ambulance worker who went to steal David's implant to sell on the black market. David, however, is saved by Lucy, and after a quick visit to Doc, he stays the night at her apartment. There she tells him her dream of leaving Night City to live on the moon, and she shares a brain dance with him. The two bond during this experience, but while David is asleep, Lucy calls her team of mercs to her apartment. Maine, Dorio, and Pillar arrive and confront David about the stolen Sandevistan, which Gloria had originally planned to sell to Maine. After David reveals that Gloria had died, he strikes a deal with Maine. He says he will pay him back for the implant by using it to do jobs for him, and after demonstrating an extreme tolerance for the cyberware, he's given a chance to join their group, and thus David becomes an Edgerunner.